Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to share with you a book called Power: Why Some People Have It and Others Don't. This book is written by two organizational behavior professors at Stanford University, Jeffrey Pfeffer, who analyze the dynamics of power through abundant case studies and profoundly reveal why power only flows to certain people. So what does power mean to ordinary people like us? Power relates to everyone's development. Understanding power can help us get promoted at work and gain satisfaction in life. With proper power, we can advocate the changes we want and achieve our goals. However, many people have misconceptions about power. The first misconception is that outstanding performance will naturally bring power. In fact, the two are not necessarily connected. On the other hand, if you do what your boss cares about, you can get a promotion even with mediocre performance. So good performance does not guarantee power. We must pay attention to what our boss thinks, at least to the same degree as our performance. The second misconception is believing celebrity memoirs and success studies. When writing memoirs, celebrities tend to highlight noble and positive factors. Authors of success studies may not have real experience with power at all. Neither reveals the truth of power. The third misconception is that when you don't have power, you think you don't need it. But power can bring change. If you want to contribute to society, you need proper power. Power also relates to health and longevity. So don't give up easily. Knowing these misconceptions, let's see how to gain power. Power identifies 5 ways to gain power. The first way is to become the most noticeable person. For example, take initiative and make requests during an interview to leave a deep impression on the interviewer. Then at work, dare to present yourself to increase your reputation. Former U.S. Secretary of State Rice once said power will make you more likable. So don't be too modest at this time. The second way is to control more resources. Resources mainly refer to financial strength and connections. The third way is to build extensive interpersonal relationships. Relationships should be strategically planned rather than relying solely on talent and interests. The most effective relationships are weak ties, loose connections across different fields. The novel information brought by such ties is more conducive to you gaining new opportunities. The fourth way is to learn how to perform and speak. Performing means managing your image. Be confident. Don't avoid eye contact. Expressing anger rather than sadness makes you look powerful. Speaking means taking control of the conversation. Appropriately interrupt others and question the premise of their speeches. The fifth way is to build personal reputation. Pay attention to public image and allow some negative news to appear to make yourself look more authentic. Also attach importance to first impressions, as people can hardly change their first impression of someone. Mastering these 5 ways will make you more successful on the path to power. Of course, after gaining power, there are still greater challenges, namely how to keep power. Power offers 5 suggestions on retaining power. First, maintain insight and self-balance. Don't be blinded by power and stay humble. Second, trust others to some extent. Don't easily trust everyone to avoid being calculated against. Third, keep sufficient patience. Don't get impetuous just because you have power. Fourth, keep current. Learn new knowledge instead of sticking to conventions. Fifth, don't obsess over power. Let go at the right time instead of being enslaved by power. In addition, the book proposes 8 suggestions for dealing with power struggles. First, treat your opponents with kindness. A failed opponent can become a future ally. Second, control your emotions. Too much emotion will complicate the problem. Third, maintain good relationships with key figures. Let them know where you stand. Fourth, persist and never give up. This is the prelude to success. Fifth, work on multiple fronts. Don't rely solely on one approach. Sixth, seize opportunities and take action. Be sharp in catching chances. Seventh, reward friends and punish enemies. Strengthen cohesion. Eighth, give your actions a noble purpose. Don't give an impression of self-interest. Of course, power has its dark side too. It can make people arrogant, lazy, and corrupt. So we should use power for good and benefit society. That's all for today. If you want to learn more about the intricacies of power, I highly recommend you purchase and read this book. Thank you for watching. See you next time.